All right, everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Bench Points Podcast. If you're watching, I've covered up my sexy new haircut, so skip to the audio this week. Otherwise, thank you to the 6 viewers for that. Got my boy 1B, the Robin to the Batman, Zach Schneider. Thank you for joining us again.
Of course, I'm happy to be here, I guess, again.
We're just covering another week of the NBA, nonstop drama, stuff to talk about. We're getting close to the halfway point. A couple teams are 1 or 2 games away from that 41 game marker. You know, we've talked about previously 20 games being a pretty good sign, but with the play-in tournament nowadays, people are still making pushes, so halfway there. And with that comes a week of wildness, and as you guys know already, Trae Young is no longer on the Atlanta Hawks. We're a little bit late to the party, Zach. What's your initial reaction to that trade?
My initial reaction was everyone was talking about the price, which I get, the CJ and Corey Kispert. But I like a new fresh start for Trey. He'll bring some eyes. He'll average probably a career high because he'll take so many shots. I mean,
If they let him.
I know it. You can go into the team dynamic of it. Like the Wizards have a lot of young guys that need to develop. I don't know if Trae Young's the best fit for developing other players. I'd say no.
No, he probably
Um,
won't do the best for Bub Carrington.
Probably won't. Yeah, and like their new rookie Johnson, Sar, like how I think Trey can help Sar, but Sar's developing a game of his own,
Yeah.
um, of not just rim running, pick and roll kind of thing. So that's kind of what Trey likes to do. You know, he's every time Trey drives, it's either he looks like he's gonna do a floater or throw a lob, like 85% of the time.
Oh,
So,
yeah. Back in the day with the Clint Capella.
oh yeah.
Oh, it was very hard to stop.
But yeah, they're tanking, so they're kind of irrelevant, low key.
And when you mentioned the price, everyone's talking about the price. It was CJ McCollum and Corey Kispert. CJ McCollum on an expiring deal. Corey Kispert on still has 4 years left on a deal. Last year, team option. A good wing, in a way, a veteran at this point. He went all 4 years of college. This is his 4.5 years in the NBA. Could add some shooting to him. And again, we talked about this last week, or I did, with the Washington Wizards, and a New Year's resolution is figuring out the wing situation. So
Hmm.
you take a little bit from that. You still have a lot more to do. I expect them to make at least one more move with Camp Whitmore, unless the phones are completely dead, you know, or there is some buzz with Marvin Bagley III going to the Minnesota Timberwolves. Um, but it is a weird step for a team that is continuing trying to rebuild. But we have to make a move at some point, right, Zach?
Yeah, I do like it for the Wizards. I mean, you just take a shot at a high upside guy.
Yeah.
Um, and you're not gonna get a Trey Young like guy besides the draft. You know, like no one's gonna choose. I
No.
want to go to the Wizards. Um, but yeah, this team is interesting. They need to tank for their pick. Um, yeah,
I mean, previously, geez, in this point guard starting lineup, it was Malcolm Brogdon, Tyus Jones for a little bit. They've ran through it and had some bad runnings at the point here. Bradley Beal maybe ran it for a little bit. Russ ran it for a little bit. Um, for the Hawks, a lot that comes out of it is people thinking that they're positioning themselves to make another trade. You can kill the AD rumors now that he's potentially out for a couple months here. But to
yeah.
me, I look pretty happy with the CJ McCollum piece. Played every game so far, started every single game, came in there. Now people have their opinions on CJ McCollum, mostly non-basketball related. Him being the president of the Players Association and developing or agreeing to these new CBA rules. But I think he hits shots and is a great rotation piece. I imagine he'll come off the bench and then come in at the starting lineup if they so want. Dyson Daniels is still pretty good at playing the two, and he originally was the one. He just had his first triple double actually just the other
Hmm.
night, last night. Um, Maybe Nikhil runs the point for a little bit there. I mean, Nikhil's not the best creator versus Dyson Daniels' old role. Um, Kispert's fine. I mean, it's pretty exciting. They still have, we've talked about this before, Christoph Porzingis as a piece to maybe flaunt around. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I think overall, it's it opens up for. opens up their team both on the floor because they kind of play a different style with that, and also front office wise, you can get a little more flexibility. Can really trade any piece you want, and it was a rare trade that was just players for player. Like, there's not a lot of times that it's just a player for just a player on both sides, no picks, no anything else. So
Keep it simple, huh?
I it just gives them some flexibility. They can trade Ricochet, they could trade any of them. They could do whatever they want, go any different direction. They just kind of broke down Trae Young salary into two guys. One's still getting paid a little bit. Like CJ's getting what, like 30-ish, give or take. But
32, something like that.
yeah, so it just kind of broke him down, and I think it gives them more flexibility on the court and front office wise if they want to trade any of them.
Trae Young, 7.5 seasons, 493 games, all starting. Those averages are 25 points per game, 4 rebounds, 10 assists, 1 steal off of 43, 35, 87.
Yeah, those
7.5 with his career year, 4 All-Star teams, one third team, one rookie first team, an assist leader one time. It made me think about, I mean, he is joining a team with Marvin Bagley III. Now, Marvin Bagley's been on the Wizards now 2 times, and he was a second overall pick in the 2018 draft class. What makes us all know, we all know the trade, the Luka and Trae Young trade. Luka now on a new team. Not a lot of people still on the original team from that draft. I mean, DeAndre Ayton was the first overall. It made me look back at it a little bit.
is there anyone?
I'm looking through the first round. The only person who's still on their team right now goes all the way to the 12th overall pick, who was suspended for a whole year, had to accept a qualifying offer, and then got extended once again. Miles Bridges.
Interesting.
Other than that,
Miles freaking Bridges.
Miles Bridges. Other
That's
than that,
insane.
no one is on the original team. Anthony Simons was, but that was up until last year.
Mm-hmm.
Mitchell Robinson in the second round is still on his team.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Yeah, that's insane. That just shows how much 7 years. Not there's like three players that might be on their same team.
he sold a lot of tickets for that team, was great to the franchise, but people didn't like playing around him. He's not something you can
Supposedly.
fully supposedly. I mean, Cam Thomas is getting some of that now, and they decided to limit Cam Thomas in his minutes and opportunities. They're not letting him run wild as
Well,
they did before.
Cam Thomas would average maybe what 3 assists a game. Trey's at least getting 10 assists.
Yeah.
But those numbers I feel like can be a little uh false. Like they're true numbers. Obviously, those are the numbers he has. But
It
like,
happened, but at what
yeah,
cost?
he's not necessarily stat padding, but I don't know. It's just like he doesn't feel like a 25 and 10 guy,
No, no.
right? But he is. So it's like, how do you judge that? And defensively, I told this to someone. I was like, we were talking about the Trae Young trade, and they were like, yeah, but he averages 25, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, but he might give up 18 points, like on the
For
defensive
real.
end.
Yeah, yeah.
So he's a +7, like on the
Plus
game. So
seven.
it's like,
And then you have to work all the way through that and then get lucky to do that when it's a guaranteed on the other end that he'll likely let someone slip on by, right?
well, you could see the Hawks when they're playing with him a little bit. Once he got back, they were realizing that how much they had to cover for him. Like they would, you have to just take another step away from your man to play the gap because Trae Young probably going to get beat. So
That did not last long, Zach. Of when Trae Young gets injured, oh yeah, wait, they're like doing pretty good here, and we didn't know
mhm.
exactly when he was coming back, but he played maybe 5 games or so from back from this injury, and then is now gone, and they don't have to deal with it. I think that was the biggest light on it with the injury because God knows. I mean, everyone was thinking about the contract and contract extension, and it was looming. And we even
Mhm.
put him in Giannis stuff. We didn't really expect this Wizards trade. Um, it just makes it an easier decision for their offseason. So I think it's great. I don't know what the Trae Young extension will look like. I think it'll be 30 mil, not 40. I think he'll decline. Maybe do a 3 or 4 year player option at the end. 30 million maybe descending. We'll see
Sure.
on that. It's interesting. I'm excited. I like player movement sometimes. I especially like when a new
You
point
love it.
guard who draws. I mean, I did talk about continuity of the last pod with some struggling teams, but like with that, I don't mind. A player for player trade too. Interesting pieces, guys I enjoy in some areas. Pretty exciting. That was Wednesday night, mid game. Trae Young
Yeah.
leaves. I mean, just very interesting. And the Wizards played that night too, but I don't think CJ McCollum was around. Um, that's just the iceberg, honestly, for Wednesday night. I told you about this because I had to talk about it. We started off with the Charlotte Hornets Toronto Raptors game. Emmanuel quickly hits the three at the buzzer. That's the first buzzer beater of the night. The Raptors win. Zach and
This
I were
is when
talking.
this
This
is
is
Wednesday,
Wednesday night.
January 7th, just to put some context out there.
Yeah, we're recording this Sunday. Then after that, we had that Wizards game where Trae Young gets traded mid game, ready to dabs people up. He leaves. Later on Peacock, the Denver Nuggets at Boston Celtics, and all week I've been kind of high on the Toronto Raptors as well as the Boston Celtics. This game kind of hurt. The Denver
Hmm.
Nuggets grabbed Pickett and Bruce Brown and said, "Guys, let me see what you got here."
Yeah.
And Jokic is just happy on the sidelines, and they dominated to get to an OT win. And honestly, Maxi kind of blew it there at the end of regulation, loses his dribble up top behind the three, and was prepared to take one of those last shots. And from Maxi's season, I'm kind of trusting anything he's doing, but totally biffed it there to give the Denver Nuggets a great win when needed while they're holding on, you know?
That was over the Celtics, or you're kind of,
Yeah, at home.
yeah.
At home.
Um, I have a sentence on the Celtics because that's all they need. They
Do you have
can
three
beat
words?
anyone and they can beat anyone and lose to anyone in all reality.
Yeah, they lost
They're
last
that
night to the
team. They shoot so many
Spurs.
threes. There's so many there's so much variance that if they shoot 38% from three and they're shooting 63s, they're gonna win the game.
Yeah.
That's just how it goes with the Celtics this year specifically, and honestly the last couple of years.
Yeah. They lost last night to the Spurs. Before that, they were sitting at the number 2 seed in the East yesterday morning. But yeah, I watched the Toronto Raptors Boston Celtics game later in the week. I told you about this a little bit. First of all, the Boston crowd is unbelievable. It typically is. Um, they were just shooting so many threes and so fast, Zach, where it was hitting. Peyton Pritchard looked absolutely Peyton Pritchard, Derek White, and Jaylen Brown are three guys now. They're all part of that championship roster, are so comfortable in what they need to do and with each other
Hmm.
that adding their best player back makes it sound great. And Sam Hauser also is incredible lately. And I
Yeah,
wanted him to be traded just because of the money and seeing what they're doing, but he needs to stay on the team.
they'll
Anthony Simons looked good too last night. I mean,
they'll
two
shoot a
nights
three
ago.
with 20 seconds left on the shot clock.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Just
Yeah.
they just need a better front court. That's about it.
Hmm.
But um
Back to Wednesday.
still Wednesday. We
We
can't
got
stop
more
talking
buzzer
about it.
beaters.
Another buzzer beater, a couple here. This is a final game, OT game. Brooklyn Nets hosting the Orlando Magic. Now I have to say what I've gotten out of this game: the Igor Demon game of when his confidence was fully solidified. He hit a buzzer beater to three to send it to OT to tie it up. Hit a couple other big shots in OT, but his willingness to take some of these threes and his excitement and his willingness to help hype up his teammates too. We're not getting into the five rookies, but he looks great, Zach, right?
He looks very good, very good. And confident, and he didn't earlier this year. I mean, and he's a rookie, so you got to give him some leeway for sure. But he's shooting them, like he's willing to take them, and that's half the battle sometimes. He's on a bad Nets team, but he's showing signs of life for sure.
Oh, and the big controversy with this game, I don't know if you saw,
Oh, I
was near
saw.
the end when it was an OT. Paolo Banchero hits a buzzer beater to let it go for three to get them the win. Now, through many angles, it looked like his foot was on the line.
This the side one, I'm like on the line, and then the over the top, I'm like, I don't know. It doesn't, I don't know.
What's
It's
the
crazy.
NFL? What's the NFL rule for overchanging a call? Or I mean, it's even NBA too. Like it has to be clear and indisputable.
Undisputed
Yeah.
evidence.
So the Orlando Magic end up posting it on their social media, covering up the foot on the line with the score of the game and
The
just you can
time, I
see what.
think.
Yeah, I see what you did there too. Yeah.
Yeah, they're like, fuck it, you're not looking at this. We don't want to see it in the comments.
I'll
We
say
won
there's a
the
couple of
game. We don't care.
there's the Wednesday night just does not stop here, Zach.
No.
An impressive effort by the Utah Jazz to
Yeah,
drag
yeah, yeah.
the Oklahoma City to an overtime game, 129 OKC to 125 here. Um, the Jazz are fun, but they lost again last night. They rested Marketing. It's good and bad. It just sucks. So OKC, a little bit what I wrote down was, should we start worrying about them?
This is the it's a bigger picture thing.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is coming off the game from earlier this week where they lost to the Charlotte Hornets.
And then they lost to the Suns before.
Then they lost to the Suns before with a Devin Booker go ahead. OKC is still fifth in offense, first in defense, net rating is still first at 12.9. But let me break. Maybe this started from that NBA Cup semifinal
Yeah.
with the San Antonio Spurs. They lost the Spurs on the 13th, lost to the Wolves on the 19th, lost to the Spurs again on the 23rd, lost to the Spurs again on the 25th, lost to the Suns on January 4th, lost to the Hornets on January 5th, barely won against the Jazz, barely, and had to come back really strong. Had to come back really strong against the Memphis Grizzlies on January 9th at 117 to 116. Um, you good? Your mic good?
Hmm?
Um, they do have to face the Spurs this week, which might be our game of the week, and face the Thunder today. But geez, Zach, they're one game away from hitting this record of 32 and 8, which would be the time. They're not even caring about this all-time record anymore, are they?
No, 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 absolutely not. They're in a little bit of a skid, and that's um 2 weeks ago we would have never thought that they could lose two straight and get overtime to the Jazz in the next game. But we're
To those
here.
opponents.
It's also the middle of the season. The NBA has never been as strong roster wise, 1 through 30. So any given night, even the Kings could compete with some teams. Like they still got DeMar DeRozan, they still got Zach. Like they're still decent. Jazz have good young guys. I'm
Anything,
not
you're so
worried.
right though. Wait, hold on. You're so right because anything can happen on any NBA night. Like an 11th man can pass Larry Bird in all-time threes.
Yeah,
Isaiah Joe of the OKC bench passed Larry Bird for all-time threes, by the way. Go ahead.
which means a lot of others have, by the way.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Game's
Um,
changing.
but yeah, there's too much talent, and it's the middle of the season, so I'm not worried about the OKC Thunder at all yet. Um, they're in the part of the season. They're so far in first still. Um, and they're in the part of the season that like Michael Jordan would like start making up how players would talk shit to him. He'd be like, "Yeah, I think you talk shit in the locker room to me. Going at you." Like he doesn't even know stuff. He's just
You
making.
said
He
what?
dreams
Yeah,
that they talk shit in
it's
him.
Twitter nowadays, where he
Yeah,
could just a player could just look up himself on Twitter and maybe get a little
yeah, and they're
motivation.
in the part of the season where they need to find motivation.
Or find one of our TikToks and tell us to put the mics down.
they're gonna be they haven't had Hartenstein. They rotate guys
Yeah.
in and out every night. Caruso plays, doesn't play, plays, doesn't
Their
play.
two-way Carlson, man, talk about a stretch big that you can just hold in your pocket, which they have to make a decision next year to see what they really want to do with him.
Well,
Um,
they're gonna get more draft picks and then just have to
it,
decide between
no, yeah,
young
decide
guys,
of
which is
keeping the young guys that they've had. I mean, they had to do that with their former first-round pick, DeLon Jones. He played 1 year, not even in the league right now in the G League. Like they
uh,
had to make these decisions.
absolutely.
Sadly, good decisions to have, but oh, I'm too rich. I have to decide.
Yeah, it's a
Um,
great problem to have.
I'll say this: the Wednesday night does not finish. We still had three banger games. The Spurs handed the Lakers a loss, which Wemby's still coming off the bench. Wemby returned to the starting lineup, then they lost, and then they put him right back to the bench. I mean, talk about a guy with no ego. I mean, he's guaranteed the max this offseason from the San Antonio Spurs, but willingness to do that, and it worked again because Wemby came off the bench last night against the Boston Celtics and got them the
Little
win.
weird, no?
It is weird. Of course, it's weird.
I yeah.
I
Like,
could
and
be
you should.
missing a story. I don't know if it's part of their medical plan with him.
I don't.
Um,
Yeah, I don't know because they tried him at start to start in between there, and
and
like
lost.
it does give you the first possession.
Yeah. It
Like
just
he's not gonna lose a jump ball, I don't
no,
think.
no. And then lastly, your Portland Trailblazers beat the Houston Rockets for the first time. Then later in the week,
Don't
later in
blink.
the week, Blazers win again. So much so that Kevin Durant gets so frustrated he throws his water bottle at the ground and starts yelling a little bit. I mean, I get it. I talked about it last week, just saying, these Clippers are coming and they're still coming. We'll talk about them a
Pause.
little bit later here. But they're probably coming from the Memphis Grizzlies spot, to be honest. I think the Blazers are probably safe for the play-in tournament. Not giving up this team.
We've won seven of the last eight, five in a row. Um, this team's very very fun to watch. I highly recommend it. I say that all the time. Still missing Drew, which is a big, and Jeremy Grant. Those two pieces that
When's Grant gonna
Jeremy
play, man?
Drew
Holy crap.
averaged like 14, 7 and or like 5 rebounds and like 8 assists. And Jeremy Grant was averaging 20 points. This team, you do not want to see this team, specifically Golden State Warriors fans and all gingers. They don't want to see us at all.
Scoot
But
Henderson,
yeah, this
bro. You
team's fun to
haven't,
watch.
dude. You didn't even meet. If this team didn't have Caleb Love at this point, man, dropping another 18 points the
Dude,
other night.
smooth. Caleb is smooth.
I think for a standard NBA podcast that does cover the league, to my own fault, I think we cover two-way players more than most.
Sure.
But my gosh, he looks
He,
great. I mean,
he's an NBA player.
a random fact, by the way, Scoot Henderson was the youngest player in U.S. history to play professional basketball in the U.S. So Scoot Henderson had a 2-year G League Ignite contract, and I
Hmm.
believe he reclassified. So his senior year, just like Cooper Flag, would be his freshman year, but his freshman year would be in G League Ignite. But he has to play another year after that. He is now second to this guy named Pink Dante, who then beat him out, played G League Ignite. Then, since NBA wouldn't let him declare, he had to play for the Mexico City Capitans, and then is now in the Westchester Knicks, averaging 4 turnovers a game. So his hope is gone. But that's a little interesting fact.
Yikes.
I can't believe Scoot Henderson was selected second overall. I don't know what he will look like. I don't know what they expect from him, and I don't know what his new role is. But it doesn't really matter for the Blazers. They do not care.
Do you remember seeing there was a video before the season of Caleb Love and VJ Edgecombe in some open runs,
No, were they at the
and
draft combine?
VJ was talking mad shit, and Caleb was too a little bit. Um, but VJ looked really good in that, and I'm just happy to see Caleb Love producing. Single-handedly beat the Warriors earlier this year, as you know. 18 last night, hitting clutch shots with 3 minutes left in the game, and he's in. Um, Denny, we don't have to talk about free throws. I get it. I get it. He's worse than Shea. I'll be so for real. I'm not gonna lie and say he's not. I've watched at least an hour of Denny free throws this year. But
Shea's
he
free
gets
throws
to the
are
line. He
down.
drives hard. He knows there's a fine line because I've listened to some NBA players talk about how getting to the line and getting foul calls is a skill versus just like failing or like not luck, but is it a skill or is it like obviously I don't is it good for the sport is a different conversation.
I think they're skilled to take it to their lane. And if you're able to get there, then what happens? There's just human reactions with
Well,
defenders.
I think it was a Chris Paul, and Chris Paul has that patented rip through, which with the arm, get the arm in the cookie jar, you just rip through it. It's a foul almost every time. Denny kind of does that a lot during his Euro step, I would say. He's very good at putting the ball out with two hands, and then wherever your hands is, he's kind of going right through him and he can still get
Okay.
the shot up. So I think it's a skill, but I'm biased in terms of for Denny. But
I
yeah.
mean, it, speaking on Caleb Love again, it's kind of a perspective of situational roles in the NBA. For example, Kaminga very has had way less opportunities for a high pick to be sent to another team. For example, like if he was drafted when during that draft class and he was sent to the Rockets when they were still running through their Jalen Green stuff and all that, trying to figure things out, opportunities just come and they just don't go some people's way. They get stuck behind a long rotation. Caleb Love is lucky that Drew Holiday, Damian Lillard, Scoot Henderson, and Blake Wesley are
hmm
all not playing. And with that opportunity, he is thriving. I mean, this
I
man
would
has traveled
love,
everywhere.
cannot wait for Drew to come back. Cannot wait.
That's
I,
enough
I, I,
Blazers.
I thought he was washed. I thought like last year with the Celtics, I thought not washed, but I just thought he took a very, very step back, a big step back. But this year, watching him in those first games, he looked like unbelievable. Like borderline, like 20 and 8 or like six. No, not 20. Sorry, like 15, 16 or 8, hitting step back threes, finding guys. No one wants to play this team. Klingon can shoot threes now. It's good. That's my rant. I'm done.
And that was the finale on the Wednesday night. Um, I do want to segue into something else here. So the next day, more Wizards news. I believe it was the next day. The Washington Wizards got to socials and posted that they are going to be retiring John Wall's jersey.
Did Trae Young leak this,
What do you
or
mean?
was that after?
Because he couldn't select that number?
No, Trae Young at the press conference was like, "We're gonna retire John Wall's jersey." Was that
No
after they
way.
was that after they announced it? I don't
Well, the
know.
press conference isn't that same day, so
Okay,
yeah, I
so
think that's after.
maybe it was a joint kind of like same
Yeah,
time, same
yeah,
thing.
yeah. I mean, I'm a little frustrated, Zach. I mean, it doesn't matter. I get a little frustrated with just the Hall of Fame classes. Now that's a whole nother thing that it's the whole basketball Hall of Fame versus the NBA Hall of Fame, and I'm never gonna get into that, as in like how I feel about it, not actually being in it. Um,
No way.
no
This
way.
podcast.
This podcast could get us some places, man. So I'm just a little bit confused of why John Wall and all these players, it led me to look up a bunch of other players that have had their jerseys retired, get their jersey retired. And maybe it's an era of social media where we're able to relive these people's careers every other year or so through a random highlight video or all this stuff. And they just exemplify that, and stats were higher. So I feel like these guys with huge stats did these things, or they made an impact enough where even though they didn't win a lot, they did this for us and they were loyal to us. Let's retire it. John Wall was the first overall pick for them. Big deal, 100% huge deal. But only played 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 seasons because his last season he didn't even play for them. 10 seasons. 10 seasons they did what with that? Five-time All-Star, one third team,
Mm-hmm.
one second team, and rookie first team, and
All
slam
defensive
dunk.
second team.
Yeah, and slam dunk contest. Zach, he played 37 playoff games for the Washington Wizards. I don't think any of them when they went to the conference finals. They never went to the conference finals. I mean, I don't know if this is enough to retire a jersey, Zach. He didn't even go out right. He didn't even play for them. He was like, I need something else here. They were willing to. The best thing they did was willing him to keep paying those max extensions, and gave him the fair opportunity to go to the Houston Rockets. I'm just a little bit disappointed. And with that, I can't tell if John Wall is behind you at all. But with that, I had to do a little bit of a deep dive on some terrible jersey retirements. For example, I think you know this too. Michael Jordan's 23 is retired by the Miami Heat by Pat Riley for some reason.
Yep.
A random guy who you may not know, but had some Warriors history and has his number retired with the Warriors, is Nate Thurman, number 42. He played 1.5 seasons for the Cavs, and they retired his jersey.
Okay.
1.5 seasons. Vince Carter, a player who played till his fucking 43, man, which is crazy, and has 1,541 all-time games, has his jersey retired, Zach, by two franchises. By the way, this guy has never won a championship, never won an MVP, nothing. The best thing he did was make second team one time in 2001. Never made it with the Brooklyn Nets, who he had his jersey retired through later in his career. Never made that. Made a couple All Stars with them. I know they made the finals. He had some good stats. Vince Carter also has his jersey retired by North Carolina too. I just, it's insane with Vince Carter. I know he had a big, there's a big legacy. There's even a documentary I think called The Vince Carter Effect, maybe produced by Uninterrupted Canada, LeBron James's company, Maverick Carter's company, where they kind of exemplified his impact to the franchise. I mean, they're starting out as an expansion thing. Oh, he's interrupting us here. There we are. We got a slam cover John Wall. If you're watching here on YouTube, there we go. Yeah, it's there. I expected it. So I just, it's just a little bit hard because I look at this too. Kawhi Leonard did not get his jersey retired or is not allowed to have his jersey retired with the San Antonio Spurs. You know, they gave it to Dylan Harper, the rookie. I know he was drafted number 2 overall, but this man was a finals MVP, a champion, multiple time All Star, defensive player, multiple time defensive first team, second team, rookie first team, steals leader, played a lot of seasons. It did not go out right. Did not go out right, but he won a championship and a finals MVP. We talked about how an MVP and a finals MVP locks you in, especially with the KG thing coming here. But Kawhi Leonard and the San Antonio Spurs, I know it did not end well, but I'm a little surprised that they didn't unofficially let his jersey be retired, you know?
I do know.
That was a long tirade from me. Sorry.
No, you're good. I knocked over my lamp trying to move stuff, so that kind of got crazy.
Oh yeah. Um,
That was a good rant, though.
it's a good one. I have to say, Nick Collison,
Hmm.
the OKC Thunder played 10 years there, drafted by the Supersonics, was kind of one of the best teammates of all time and is now in their front office handling things. He had his jersey retired. That's kind of the ones where I'm not against it. It's kind of like the Udonis Haslam kind of thing. Andre Iguodala got his jersey retired. I mean, he did win 4 championships and was a Finals MVP. That's a little bit different. Um, there are sadly 2 players that have been killed in a car accident while they were playing for the team that has led to their jersey. Are you trying not to laugh? Zach, they
You
can see you
said
on
there are
YouTube.
sadly two
I mean, they're
players.
and sadly, as in they died, not sadly that they've jersey retired, which it's a little interesting. But as a lot of people know, number 2, Malik Sealy in 2000 died, and then in another 2000, Bobby Phillis died and he has jersey retired. I don't know, man. There's just, and I think in this era that we're gonna live in, I think we're gonna get a lot of more. I'm gonna call it Vince Carter or John. No, I'm gonna call it the John Wall retirement ceremony. I mean, just unbelievable that these kind of guys are getting their jersey retired. You guys can't turn it back. We can't unretire these things.
All right. Do you retire Dame?
Do I retire who?
Dame Dollar.
Oh yeah. If you
100%.
finish, if you finish, now I don't know off the top of my head with John Wall. The franchise has been around for a long ass time. If you finish your career and you're number one all time in points or assists, and he's definitely all time in threes and all that stuff. And then for the amount of seasons, and you've taken that franchise with repeated playoff series, 100% Dame. And if you're a NBA top 75 player like Dame was named, yeah, you're gonna get
Okay. You- John Wall has the most assists by like 2,000 almost.
on the Wizards.
Wizards all time.
Oh gosh, okay, it's looking a little bit better.
All
Um,
right. Well, we'll think about it on this break. We'll be right back.
we'll be right back. All right.
He's the most. John Wall has the most steals in NBA. And
Here, we're back. We're back. Go ahead, Zach. Go ahead.
John Wall got the most steals in Wizards history. Bradley Beal's second, by the way.
Do
John
you
Wall
think
has
he
the most
deserves his
assists
jersey
by
retired? I mean, he's
Huh?
right there with them. He's right there with them. Does he deserve his jersey retired with the
I
fucking
don't know. He's
Wizards?
third in assists, Bradley Beal. I don't know.
Okay. Okay, hold on,
Second in
hold on.
points, barely by two under 200 points. Just saying. Just saying.
And okay, and can you tell me who the all-time leader is in their scoring, assists, all this stuff?
Okay. Points is Elvin Hayes by 200 points over
Yes,
Bradley Beal.
he has his jersey retired with them.
Rebounds, Wes Unseld. Assists,
He had
John Wall by 1,400. Quite a
Wes
bit.
Unseld has his jersey retired. He also has an MVP and Finals MVP.
Steals, John Wall. Blocks, Elvin Hayes. John Wall's third in blocks.
Okay, okay.
Just saying.
So
First
I
in
know
assists,
those are definitely important things to retire a jersey. Now,
fourth in
is
point,
that enough
fourth
to
in
retire a
points for
jersey?
John Wall.
Bro,
I
would you retire Kyle Lowry's jersey?
Yeah,
Would you retire Kawhi's one season jersey?
no,
He is finals MVP for a franchise. The only one that's ever happened.
I know. I I know. I don't know. No,
Okay, we just don't really have a basis on when we should
I'm
retire this
retiring John
stuff.
Wall because he has a dance.
If you're the
Your
Lakers,
dance, like
you want me to do it?
Mo Bamba should be retired from the NBA.
Mobama's out of the NBA right now. A couple days ago, he was back in, but he's out.
There should be
Um,
no more Mo Bambas in the NBA ever again.
retire the name. Don't
Retire
let
the
anyone
name.
enter.
If you're a high college pick, you have to change your name because you have a
Okay,
song.
what about LeBron? Would you retire his jersey with the Lakers?
I'm retiring LeBron. Yeah.
Okay, would you retire Luca's jersey for the Mavs?
See,
Because I don't know where he is all time on those points, but he's had multiple first teams and drove a team to a finals.
I would, but just the way it went down.
I'm just saying, man, it went down badly with Vince Carter when he left the Raptors. So,
I don't know. You're retiring Jamal Murray.
no, hell no. Jamal Murray might make his first All Star team this year.
I think he will.
He should. He should.
Besides the point.
Um, your boy Trey Murphy's playing it good again, as
I
always. It's
know.
on and off again, and then he comes back with 35 and 42 on those last two games. It's just more
I'll
and
trade
more,
him.
man. It's the only guy I want the Warriors to trade for him, not fantasy wise. I That is the only guy I want the Warriors to try and go for
The
badly.
Pelicans already said no him, Derek Queen, fears.
I get it. I get it. But what if two first round picks are offered to you for a Warriors team that is trying to peak right now?
We need more.
Yeah, but what will those become once Steph retires? How do we look? I don't think we'll look good.
We're the
I don't know,
Pelicans. We
man.
don't need your pick in 6 years.
Oh yeah, we're the Pelicans. We've got a plan.
We can't tank, dude.
I mean, you can't tank. You will lose games because you're just that god awful. All right, that's all I have to say on Trey Murphy. The Los Angeles Lakers did lose to Giannis and to the Spurs. LeBron playing both of those and then stepping out for one of the other games. I said this to you. I texted you this week. JJ Redick just must want to die a little bit, having to keep Bronny on the roster and having to waive Jordan Goodwood to make space on their roster to get him underneath the either it's space or money wise, but just hurting to see him.
What about
The jerk.
camaraderie? Ever thought about that? The chemistry with the Jameses.
I never thought about that. Do you think it? Because LeBron's been playing good without his son on his team, and honestly, has played worse since his son's been on the team.
He
At
calls
least
him
that's
dad, right? Like in the locker room.
no,
Hey, LeBron.
no. He has like a nickname for him or something. I don't think
Bon
he's.
Bon.
I don't. I don't think he's ever called him dad on that. All right, all right. The Los Angeles Clippers on the other half of the town playing good, trying to ramp it up here while they host the All-Star weekend here pretty soon. Still waiting to hear on their league investigation, but while that waits, trying to lead the Kawhi Leonard Los Angeles Clippers, leading to a record of not bad, 15 and 23. That puts them in the NBA standings as we're recording this on Sunday, 11th
Hmm.
seed. That is one game behind the struggling Memphis Grizzlies, officially putting John Moran on the trade block. But getting back to the Clippers, I have to say, Zach, I'm pretty impressed with Kawhi Leonard. I'd seen his legs underneath him. He made this crazy athletic layup, scoring over 25 constantly, looking like the Toronto Raptors, where he would get rest in between games. Let me read you their schedule and wins lately. They beat they blew out the Los Angeles Lakers on December 20th, blew out the Rockets the next game, blew out the Blazers the next game, blew out a little bit the Clippers, then the Kings, then the Jazz, lost to the Celtics at home, barely beat the Warriors, lost to the Knicks, but then beat the Nets. John Collins did look good in that game as much as he can against the Nets. And then again, serving against the number one seed in the East. 2-0 wraps the season series against the Detroit Pistons. They've got the Wizards, Hornets, Raptors, Wizards, Bulls, our next opponent, 8-2 in their last 10. Zach, they're making a stride, which is good for everyone around the league to see the Los Angeles Clippers stack on some wins to make that OKC pick drop a little.
Yeah, I mean, we could look up and they're around 500 soon. They're 15 and 23, if I'm reading that
Yep.
correctly.
Yep.
They're 12th in offensive rating. Defensively, they're 25th. So that's kind of that used to be their like last year. That was kind of their niche kind of thing. They were like a very good defensive team, low key, more than they were an
29th
offensive
and
team.
29th in pace as well. The
They're so
oldest
team.
team in the league. Your mic cut out there for a second, Zach. Try again.
Check.
Yep. All right. You were saying something about the Clippers?
Uh, their curtain call last year was kind of the defensive end, and Kawhi's looked great coming back. This year they're not nearly as good defensively. James Harden has been out. Didn't he miss a couple games?
He was in and out. Yeah.
Yeah, so we might look up. You just read their schedule. We might look up in their 500 in no time because they should be beating these Hornets and Wizards, and Raptors should be a good game
But as we know, this is the NBA. Anything can happen every night.
for
Um,
sure.
like the Hornets beating the favorite championship at their home court and blowing them out. I mean, geez, man, anything can happen.
Well said.
Um, lastly here, I have to say I did tune into the 12 p.m. yesterday Prime Video, um, Timberwolves versus Cavs. Cavs hosting here. The production. I was texting our friend of the pod, Josh, about this since we're both watching it. I have to say the production was amazing. I don't know if it's because Prime's just getting excited to finally have the NBA switch to them. Football's ending. They actually Prime Video later that night. It was a good day for them. They host the Packers game, Packers Bears
Hmm.
game, which I have to watch some highlights for later. Which I
Cat.
wish I was watching that, but I just kind of forgot about it. I did check out the Rams game a little bit there. The Panthers almost had them there. Anyways, just excited for them to have it. I think the production, the set is probably the best set I've ever seen. Their halftime set, pregame set, absolutely astonishing. Obviously, this company has an insane amount of money. Um, and then they brought in, I don't know if it's because it was a European broadcast day or something like that. I'm getting excited for the Olympics, as well as Prime Video hosting some games out here, the international games at, I think it's the Memphis Grizzlies and Orlando Magic going to play some international games here. So they brought on, I believe for this purpose, brought on a British sideline reporter. They had a
Hmm.
crazy comic book, maybe some AI animation there. Comic book comparisons of Donovan Mitchell and Anthony Edwards' careers
Wow.
similarities. You know, Donovan Mitchell's never missed the playoffs. Donovan Mitchell wasn't rookie of the year though. Had that race with Ben Simmons, one of the best rookie of the year races in our remembrance. I mean, we all
Rookie.
remember,
Boom.
yeah, the Adidas hoodie, everything. Um, but both played with Rudy Gobert, both high scoring two guards. Very interesting tale. But they put Sam Merrill in the starting lineup, and
Hmm.
you know how DeAndre Hunter's been playing. Um, I have to say, it kind of put Garland in a groove where he felt comfortable offensively, hitting some shots, always getting to his spaces either near the elbow, eventually hit a great three. But it also gains his confidence, be able to pass it to a third guy, a second guy, you could say, in that starting lineup that can actually truly shoot. His numbers are insane, 3 point percentage wise. But
Yeah.
DeAndre Hunter's been struggling a little bit. His defensive stuff isn't great. Um, Jared Allen had almost, you could say, two posters and probably played one of his best games of the year 16 and 11. Quiet, but like steady. He was really happy. You could see it on his face. The team was doing great. They even got down to 12-point lead, brought it back up to 11, ended up taking the dub. But I have to say, Prime did a great job. The Cavs, excited to get back in the groove. I wrote down, you can't forget what they've done. But
No, and Mobley hasn't even been playing that well recently.
no, he did play, had some good offensive scoring in the inside there, I would say. Looked pretty comfortable.
Yeah.
But I wrote that down as in like many times last year they had, I think 2 times they had a double digit win streak.
1 through 5, this team. 1 through 8, this team's pretty really good. Like, do you think Struce hops in over Merrill in the starting lineup?
Not right away. I mean, he's coming back from injury. I would just keep him off the bench for a
But
little bit.
eventually, I'm just saying.
The guy who nicknames himself the role player, Jalen Tyson, man. I was watching a game with my dad a couple weeks ago. I think that was the Christmas game against the Knicks. And then I'm watching it again today here. Dude, consistent and comfortable from the three. Just knows what to do and defensively picks up like nobody's business. An
He
exciting young guy. I don't know where this team would be without his little spark.
he's like he reminds me of the Slender Man.
The
You know the
Slender
Slender
Man?
Man?
Yeah, not Victor Wembanyama. The Slender Man?
No, Victor does too, but like he's like a little shorter off-brand version. So long, lanky, just everywhere, gets his hands everywhere, rebounds like I don't know. He's like Mobley is too. They have two of those guys that are kind of freakish.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, when we say can't forget what they've done, yes, they had a great last two regular season standings, but the playoffs have not gone great at all. I mean, they had a great opening series last year against the Miami Heat, where it was just embarrassing at one point the
And then the
scores that we
Magic
saw.
series was good too.
Then the Magic series, but it's just like it's not great from their end, but it's
Mm-mm.
good. You can't forget that these guys have been playing a little while with each other, trying to get a little bit more comfortable, and have won a lot of games in their past. And especially Donovan Mitchell, nothing to worry about with that guy there. Just
Yeah,
exciting.
this
I
is
mean,
this is the year for them to put it together.
oh yeah, and I will say I was paying a lot of extra attention to Rudy Gobert, someone who I probably have not given the most credit to this season. I did get sent a stat muse on Rudy Gobert, an actual insane one, if you're thinking about it. Rudy Gobert, and this is 2 days ago it was posted, so maybe things have changed. I know he is first in dunks, which was not listed on there. He's still first in dunks this year, first in field goal percentage, first in screen assists, if you're keeping track of those, if you care to. I do think those are important.
Hmm.
Second in field goal percentage, two. I don't know why that's written there too. Third in rebounds per game, sixth in blocks per game. Campaigning for a fifth defensive player of the year, trying to get there. Wemby needs to get up here a little bit and get back in the starting lineup so we don't see that happening. But a great anchor to this team when there's some question marks around the rotation in other ways.
Hmm. It's Rudy's played it has started to play very, very well. Um, these teams, yeah, they're clicking. The Timberwolves look better too, and we'll see what the Cavs can do, and they'll make the playoffs and see what seed they get and what they can do there.
Yeah, there was a graphic at the time when they switched over to Chris Finch. Best record since Thanksgiving. They're 15-5. Now they
Yeah,
did
it's
lose, so they're 15
you
and
see that
6, but
the Chris Finch effect after he got ejected from the Thunder.
they did go on to win that game, yes, and they've been playing well since. I think some players, especially Anthony Edwards, does feed off seeing his coach, play for him, scream for him, and support him. and he messes with them more after that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Exciting week in the league. We did get a trade. We're going to be halfway through this upcoming week. We might see some more trades. Go ahead.
I do want to say that for the Grizzlies last podcast, my resolution is please trade Ja. They're opening to some offers here, so
I
we'll
guess that's
see
a
if
big
we
other
can extend
headline
him as
too.
well.
Maybe after seeing Trae Young and say, "Hey, the Hawks are willing to do it and able to do it." Maybe we can see what we can get for Ja. And I know the Memphis Grizzlies is a very very small market, not the best attendance ever, really, but they do show out. It's a pretty good fan base,
Hmm.
and people are reluctant. If you trade Ja away, you lose a lot of fans. Now this guy does have a national shoe brand deal with Nike, has his own shoe. I think that's some young heads because Mike Conley and Zach Randolph and Marc Gasol have sold plenty of tickets in their day. The fan
Hmm.
base is strong. You just
Yeah,
need to provide a team that can
they don't
actually
have
get
anything
something.
else either.
Yeah, yeah, man. Wait, where's Tennessee Titans? Where do they play?
Nashville.
Nashville? Okay, okay. Um, okay. So this is a random last hit. I just brought up the Titans for no reason. They're one of the worst teams in the whole league, right?
Hmm.
I found an Instagram account. It's called the End Zone Boys. So since 1999, these brothers or friends or really close people have been on the end zone first row every single game, and they shout the whole time. Only recently
For
did
the
they start.
Titans.
Yeah, only recently did they start posting this, but they've been screaming at people in an insane amount. And even when they get shown up, like a guy will come down to their end zone and be like, "What you say? I got this now. I just won this." They will not. They will continue to lay it on. It's like three men with the deep ass voices yelling. It's the best. The Titans do follow them on. Oh
Pre-games is
yeah.
so good.
So I think I might have sent you something where it's that I believe it's a New Orleans Saints running back
Hmm.
East time, and
Uh,
go ahead.
Estime.
Esteve. And so they go, it's time to do nothing. It's time to do nothing. And so like a bunch of people are laughing at it. Eventually later in the clip, he gets runs into touchdown, and that man, after running an NFL touchdown, is going to them immediately. And all his
Oh yeah.
teammates start following him and just start pointing at those guys. And then the guys come back and say, "Show your ass up." No, like the end zone boys, they're like, "Show your ass up." They don't care, man. It's just
Yeah.
fun to see them loyal to the fan base. I mean, think about it. It's just like the thing that they do, like 10 weeks out of the year that they just get to go hard at and just enjoy. I thought it was awesome, and there's many many clips of them just
Oh
yelling at
yeah.
the injured players and all that stuff. Just had to bring that up. It brightened my week because I've been back to that account just looking at random ass videos all week.
It's great.
um,
Big
Zach,
football
let's
Sunday today too.
Let's go. Talk about your Chargers, man. How are they looking against the New England Patriots?
Uh, Chargers fan, obviously nervous going into it, but the Patriots haven't played anyone. We got Jim Harbaugh on our side, Justin Herbert. We might not be able to block, but we'll be all right. We'll see. Good
Is there
defense.
any big injuries to your team that you're lacking?
I mean, our tackles got hurt earlier this year, a lot of
Okay.
like months ago that were season ending. So we're
Seven
just trying to
o'clock.
sneak away with a win. Just get in, sneak away with a win, get out of there, and move on.
Zach, we were together a couple years back in Las Vegas where it was it a
Bro, I don't need,
Jaguars
bro. We don't need to talk about this.
Jaguars Chargers game where
Yeah,
they
bro.
blew a lead?
Yeah.
Was this the last time they were in the playoffs?
Did the Warriors ever blow a 3-1 lead?
Did the Chargers ever come back from a thing and win multiple championships afterwards? Solely
All right.
building off of that.
Game of the week this week, Tuesday night, Trailblazers at Warriors. Fuck
Oh
you.
crap!
5
Oh
beers.
crap! I might just have to put another beer down here, man,
We can put a
and
beer
go.
down. You're already down 2. Do you want to make it 3?
Currently, as a lot of people know, I owe Zach 2 beers for the last 2 games that the Blazers have faced the Warriors. This would be the third game. No, this would be the fourth game, which is weird that they're playing four. It doesn't happen that often. Have to play the Warriors Kryptonite once again, which is the Warriors Kryptonite is the Clippers, and some reason right now it's also the Blazers.
Dude,
My
and we're 2
gosh.
games out of you. You're about to get, ooh, you're about to get nervous.
I'm not nervous. Memphis Grizzlies are still there. God knows what they'll do. And that's on Peacock. I got the game before that on Tuesday. How it's just the obvious one, man. Let's keep this rivalry going. The hottest rivalry in the whole league on Peacock, 7 o'clock. San Antonio Spurs at OKC. Maybe we'll see Wemby in the starting lineup.
Yeah,
Excited, man.
great game. So you got a beer on that or what?
So yeah, it's 3 beers now. I owe you
Yeah,
three
if you
beers or
lose,
nothing.
you're already counting it as 3 beers because you know you're gonna lose.
3 beers or nothing. Wait. Okay,
That or
is that San
nothing or
Francisco?
one.
Oh, okay. Okay, yeah, I'll do that.
Okay.
Yeah, they're in San Fran. Draymond's looking to bounce back, guys.
How late do you stay up? Because it starts at 10:10.
It's one of those Peacocks doubleheader, coast to coast doubleheaders. Crap. It doesn't matter. The beer will still be owed.
I
But are
know
you saying you
what's
might
that?
call me?
You're gonna get a text at 1 a.m. Blazers.
Bro, since high school, I've been staying up for these fucking West Coast games, man. I'm used to
Oh,
it,
so you're
but
good to stay up till 12:31.
we'll see. We'll see how it goes. We'll see where
Then
my
he
night
shoots a lot
takes
of
me.
free throws, so it might be 1:30.
And we might have to do some reviews for Flagrant or something. I don't know. It'll take a little while. Should be a fun week. Maybe we'll see another guard traded, Zach John Morant, on the radar. Appreciate
John
everyone.
on the
Go ahead.
block.
Trade block. Appreciate everyone for listening. Feel free to tell us to keep dropping our mics and keep going or not. A lot of support. A lot of
Keep
support.
telling us anybody can get a mic. Why are the mics so cheap?
Keep telling us to not talk about Cam Spencer.
How do these people post TikToks?
How do we get so many views? I know. It's frustrating, guys. It's frustrating. They hate us because they hate us. All right. Appreciate everyone. Peace.
I love the Blazers, but go Chargers.
Oh, very nice. Best of luck.